Welcome, Mid-Missouri, to the September edition of Making a Difference. Wow, September 1st, 2015. Where's the summer gone?
Quick.
It's amazing. September 1st. Where is the time gone? First segment tonight is with Rick Rowden and Cindy Minchew with the Primrose Hill Teen Challenge. Primrose Hill Teen Challenge. Cindy, where is that?
We have a women's center located in Clark, Missouri, just a couple minutes up 63.
The hub of the universe.
Yes.
All life began in Clark, Missouri.
Yes, we have a beautiful home for our women and children, and it's one of the few facilities in the country that actually allows the ladies to bring their children with them. And so it's a 5,700 square foot home on 43 acres.
Now you say for the ladies, what is your function in life? What does Primrose Hills Teen Challenge, what services do you perform or do you offer?
We offer the women 12 months of drug and alcohol abuse recovery. So we offer spiritual, physical, emotional healing for 12 months, along of course with their children if they have custody of them. So during the day, the women are able to do studies which are from the Teen Challenge curriculum that's got 50 years behind it. And the children, we have a small daycare where we have volunteers and somebody come in to take care of the children so the women can focus on their daily activities.
Now, Rick, FaithBased, Primrose Hills is a faith-based organization.
Right.
How interlaced with the curriculum is faith?
Well, it's really a core part of what we do. I quote the one I heard a long time ago: to change behavior, you must first change the belief system. So we believe that a change in behavior comes with a change of heart. And so it's really a big part of what we do. And that combined with the year-long stay really gives the women an opportunity to work on how valued they are by others as well as how valued they are by God.
Outstanding. Now, Cindy, you made a comment earlier about the relationship between, let's say, an abuse or a substance abuse, an addicted teen, and they have an opportunity to go through your program with a parent. How?
Well, it's actually the mother with their children. So it's the mother can be 30 years old, and the children that are there
Suffering from addiction.
Right. So it's the mother that has the issue. The children are just victims of their mother. So the children are anywhere from a year to 8 years old. So we're addressing kind of that age group in children right now. So it's not actually teens.
Okay.
It's the mother that's and he has
So
the problem.
During the program, though, there's no separation between mom and things that are very important to her, like her children.
Well, they say in mental health statistics show that in Boone, Cole, and Callaway County, there's 5,000 homes where children are living with addicted mothers. And one of the biggest obstacles for a mother to find help is who's going to take care of the children, because usually the situation at home is not good. A lot of times they're living with a drug-addicted partner, and so this removes that obstacle and allows the children to stay with the mother. It's a noble thing to save the life of a woman, but I think when we actually can reach into a child, we're really affecting generations, and that's what we're trying to do.
Recidivism in your program. What percent of recidivism are you seeing when you're able to incorporate those dynamics of really family into a recovery program?
Well, our house is just about to have a year, so we still have our first student, and she has gotten custody of her child, who's now living in the home too, and she'll be graduating and moving on to the next phase in her life. So as far as our particular statistics for our home, we don't really have much to go on yet except for the stories that the girls tell, and they go around Columbia and Moberly and different areas and tell their story of
Power of testimonials.
their testimony. Yeah.
Teen Challenge, there's been several independent studies that's been done. Teen Challenge has 1,200 centers globally, 250 in the United States. We're one of only 8 where the mothers and children can be together. But the statistics show that there's an 85% success rate for those who finish the program. and that is 8 years after they're completed the program, that they're sober, that they're living a productive life, and generally involved in faith and their churches.
Well, you know, I have to tell you both that that's something to be very proud of. I think.
Yeah,
I think we're missing a lot.
It's really pretty amazing to have when you look at other programs, and there's a lot to be said about 30-day programs, but for the women that we're seeing, typically most all of them have been to and through several 30-day programs, and for them it hasn't worked.
Yeah, I've lost their kids, have almost died.
Yeah.
I mean, the stories are.
Prison sentences and coming out of prison, and so some pretty amazing stories, and to hear and see the change that's happening with them is pretty awesome.
Yeah.
You two have been at this for how long now?
Well, I personally am sober. I got sober in a 12-step program, and then later found faith.
You.
So, and I think the faith has really what kept me sober since all these years. Since I was 16, actually. So I have lived it, but I also watched my sister, who was an abuser and struggled with her kids and what her kids went through, and the family went through dealing with, her addiction and her not being able to take care of her kids. So I have been probably with Primrose, probably been a part of it since I went to a banquet 4 years ago, and it was just an idea. It was just a dream. I was very inspired, very excited, and have just kind of been supporting it. Really, Columbia and Moberly, I mean, the people in this area have just supported. It's just really
This is
amazing.
a phenomenal area. Rick, how about you? How long have you been with the program?
Well, I started sort of back when Cindy was at that banquet. I was there as well. Now, I've known of Teen Challenge. My dad was a pastor of a church, and I met my first Teen Challenge graduate when I was probably 7 years old. They've been around since 1958. And Teen Challenge got started up in the Northeast when a fellow by the name of David Wilkerson would go into New York and bring out gang members to his farm and put them to work on his farm and began to pour into them. And so, I've seen that, been to several centers around the United States through the years, so I've kind of had a personal involvement with Teen Challenge for a long time.
But remember, it's not just for teens. It goes, I saw a 55-year-old man at our men's facility down in Neosho get sober after 55 years. So it's for all ages. Teen Challenge is just the original name that has just, that's kind of what carries through.
It has a strong reputation.
Yeah, it has a good reputation.
He's a teen by about 3 times.
Yeah, there you go. There you go.
Okay, so tell me this. You're a 501c3. How do you support yourself?
Well, we do not take any federal or state money. We rely solely on donations from individuals,
What's your
churches,
website?
grants. It is primrosehilltc.com.
Say it again.
primrosehilltc.com.
There you go. Listen, it's time for us to go, but thank you so much for taking this time and giving us the opportunity to speak with you.
Thank you very much.
Keep
Thank
up
you
the
for
good
having us.
work.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Appreciate it.
Nice to meet you. Thank you.
Our next guest is Erin King. Erin is with the Columbia Center for Urban Agriculture.
That's right.
How cool is that? We were just talking about growing cool things that, that nobody will eat, so we'll just have a bunch of it, maybe can it.
Yep.
Beets.
Beets and Swiss chard, and people
Swiss
don't
chard.
have no idea what Swiss chard is.
Interesting.
Yep.
Okay, so tell why do you want to sit on Making a Difference to tell everybody about beets and Swiss chard or what? Talk to us.
So our mission is to educate fellow Colombians about the local and urban agriculture ecosystem and their environmental benefits and their health benefits and their economic benefits and their community benefits.
Erin, help me out here. What's the health benefits of an urban agricultural environment versus a rural agricultural environment? Come on, come on.
So the population density is obviously more dense in the city. And so by empowering people to grow their own food at home, they're making sure that the food is grown more locally. It cuts back on transportation of the food. The food can actually ripen on the vine instead of ripening on the shelf, which means that it keeps more nutrients in it. I mean, one of our programs that we have is called Opportunity Gardens Program, and that specifically focuses on the low income in the community that may be on food stamps or disability or Social Security. And so they may not have enough money to afford healthy food, because you go to the store and trying to buy like a head of lettuce or tomatoes, and that's like half of your budget right there if you're on a limited income. So you end up reaching for like a box of cereal or something that's a processed food, and so that's not as nutritious. So we're trying to make it so that people have more access to healthy food that they know that doesn't have any pesticides or any chemicals on it. And it also gets families out there working in the garden and hopefully living more active lifestyles and hopefully preventing childhood obesity.
You nailed it. You shut me down in a heartbeat. Way to go. So technically, urban agriculture can take place in a planter, in a limited space of a backyard. It can almost take place anywhere.
Yep, we work with a variety, just within our Opportunity Gardens program. We've done in-ground tilled beds, or we kind of specialize in building raised beds, which helps to, you end up taking part of the soil that's underneath the ground and mixing that into a topsoil and compost mix to replenish nutrients back into the dirt, and so there's less clay. The roots will get deeper in the ground and be able to absorb more nutrients, which means that you're absorbing more nutrients in your body. So it's really cool.
You know, I tell you hit a point that I think is just awesome. You're teaching people how to eat healthy, and by growing their own food. I just see so much value in that. I mean, obesity is a big issue with us. We need to teach, especially our youth, how to. Do you have a lot of youth involved in your program?
Yeah, so we bring children, like homeschool groups, 5th grade groups, like groups of all ages throughout the Columbia public school system, and also private schools come out and bring their kids out to the farm, and they do like a urban farm experience, like a tour, or sometimes they schedule a specific lesson to go over that fits in the curriculum. And then there's always some kind of stewardship activity where the kids are like either harvesting carrots or tasting different herbs that are growing in the beds out there. So they're interacting with all 5 senses and activating all of those. And then they go up and they wash the food, and then they get to take like the carrot greens and take them over to the chickens and feed the chickens, and that's always like really really
We're
entertaining
talking about
to
a
the
complete
kids.
life cycle here of whatever it is you happen to be growing. You're taking it's a full life cycle. So you're tell me, how exciting is it for a young person to pull a carrot out of the ground? That most kids have no clue where a carrot comes from. I mean, that is, or a potato, to dig a potato up. Tell me, how cool is that?
It is always fun to see their faces when they get them out of the ground. I took a picture of one of the field trips I was out at the farm, and a kid was like holding up his carrot, and it was like he went for the one that had the best greens on it, and then he holds it up, and it's like this really tiny itty bitty carrot that didn't really grow like
but that's
roots
okay.
very long.
There was something there.
Yeah, it was just like, oh, so it doesn't always mean that the greens that are out of the ground are going to match like the size of the roots. So it was a really funny learning experience
that
right there.
Has to be just exciting just to see the reaction. see how kids, especially kids, react to the fact that they've actually grown something. That is so cool.
Yeah, we also have the outdoor classroom program works with, I think, 8 schools in the public school system, and so they have outdoor learning spaces that we help the as parent-led group to manage that and integrate it into the curriculum. And we also work with the Slow Food Katy Trail Harvest of the Month program, where we do lessons in the schools where we teach kids how to, how a certain piece of harvest, like one of the crops each month, how to prepare that. And where it comes from, and they have a guest farmer come in and talk to the kids about it and stuff.
I'm going to go dig up my neighbor's backyard. I want to plot something. I want to grow something. So you basically teach people how to develop the plot, prepare it, and grow things. Okay, you're a 501c3, right? You depend on what for survival?
Donations.
Wow. Funny how that works, isn't it?
Yeah.
What's your website?
It's ColumbiaUrbanAg.org.
Columbia?
Urbanag.org.
Outstanding. You've got an event coming up September 12th from 3 p.m. to 8 p.m. What is it?
That's right. It's the 6th annual Harvest Hootenanny. So we shut down Smith Street out front of the urban farm. It's about a block south of where Business Loop meets College. And you can usually see the chickens from College as you're going towards Business Loop. And so we have a Missouri-raised local meal. Most of the vegetables that are harvested from the farm are integrated into the meal. And the Columbia Career Center's culinary arts students are going to be preparing the meal and serving it at the event. And there's local beer and wine, live music, kids games, and a chicken bingo game where the chicken
I can't wait.
the chicken poops on your
bingo.
number and then you win. Yeah, it's kind of like the cow pie bingo but with
this
chickens.
Is good stuff.
Yeah,
Good stuff.
and there'll also be a photo bus too. So
after the chicken bingo.
The whole time, so not one after the other. But
Listen, thanks for taking the time to join us, and everybody go to your website, which is
ColumbiaUrbanAg.org.
there you go. Thank you, and come back and
Thank
see
you.
us again, okay? Good evening, you two. Shawna Johnson, the Executive Director of Access Arts, and Patrick Hutti, H-U-T-T-I, Patrick Hutti, the resident artist with Access Arts. How am I doing so far? Did I do that right?
Yeah, well, the only problem I have is with the article, he's not the only one. We have more than one resident artist.
Ooh.
He's the lucky one that got to come today.
How'd you get so lucky, Patrick?
Well, I also live at the center, so.
Oh, that's
maybe that'd
great,
do it too.
I
man.
said, come on, you're going.
You're
Yeah,
going.
yeah, yeah.
When the director speaks, everyone listens. Is that how it is?
Oh yeah.
You know, I was a director once, and no one listened to me. Yeah, no one. So tell me, Shawna, what is Access Art?
We're a 501c3 here in
Mm-hmm.
Columbia. We've been here since 1971, and our mission is to provide creative learning experiences for everyone. And so we approach that in a lot of ways because everyone is a lot of different people. So, but we focus on visual arts, and we provide classes, workshops. We have a summer camp program. We do a lot of partnerships with other organizations as well, where they'll bring their population to us. We just finished a series with the Boys and Girls Club this summer. We work some with the Veterans Hospital. So different groups of people, we provide arts programming for them to help enrich their lives and, make them better people.
Good. Patrick, resident artist. Now, that's pretty impressive. Not as impressive as executive director, but pretty close.
This
Come
is
on
true.
now. So, as a resident artist, what's your task? What's your role?
My role, I specialize in the area of ceramics or clay, but I also there I have a studio space that they provide for me, a private studio space, and then there's also a public studio space more area where we teach classes there. And downstairs there's ceramics, and upstairs there's weaving, and that's a part of some of the art that they teach there. But so I teach classes and I help with the outreach, like she was saying, and yeah.
Ceramics. How cool.
It's a great job.
Yeah, that's,
Yeah.
are you living the dream?
Yeah, every
Hey,
day.
that's
It's,
good.
You know, they provide equipment for me, and
Sure.
you know, for other artists too that are looking for residency, you know, it provides an opportunity to give teaching experience with all age groups, and then to, you know, help run a facility, and you know, so.
Now, things that your resident artist develop, make.
Well, we have a lot of space. That's kind of one of our biggest assets. And so we provide space for them to develop their own work. So each artist, when they apply, they kind of outline what kind of projects they want to do in our space. And then, you know, we fit their projects based on what we're able to accommodate. But the work that they make is theirs. They keep it, and they develop their skills, and they grow their resume. We help them get into shows and do different events in the community to build their career. And then in return, they give back to us and to our community by teaching our classes and doing workshops and taking art to the community. Having a variety of different residents, they might be there for 3 months. They might be with us, like Patrick's going to be with us for a whole year. So they develop different projects that take different time. But what that does is it brings in a fresh, it keeps things fresh for us, for our students, that they get new instructors with new perspectives and techniques.
Now, your background, do you come from an art background? I mean, are you a
Yeah.
painter, a sculptor?
That's an interesting question. I always say I'm a mixed media artist. I like combining different things together.
I have no idea what that means, but it sounds impressive.
Well, I did a lot of installation work.
Okay.
When I lived in New York, I did a lot of, let me think, a project I could just, so I did a show in New Jersey where I took the blueprints of an old theater and I built a ticket booth that was to scale. And on the inside, I left it all raw plywood, and on the inside I had clipboards with old copies of playbills.
Really?
And so people could come in at the opening, they would write a personal experience that they had in a theater, and then they glued it to the wall of the piece. And so it was an interactive piece, and
Cool.
it was really interesting though, because people, as they did that, they would always have to come and find me and tell me in person what their story was. So that was really
I bet you've heard a
interesting.
lot of stories.
Some of them I didn't really want to hear,
But that's okay.
but it was good. It was
That's
fun.
okay.
So I do.
You opened the door.
different stuff. I did.
But
So.
that is so neat that both of you bring to the table a level of creativity like that.
Well, we think anyone can be creative. You know, everyone, Picasso says every child is an artist. The problem is how to stay one when you grow up,
I think it would be awesome just to get beyond the stick person. And maybe
We can help with that, Marco. We
Maybe
can help.
one day I'm going to come down and learn how to do something. Hey, do you have glass blowing?
We don't.
I think that's
But
so
Village
cool.
Glassworks does. Not
No,
to-
I want to come to you
But
guys.
come to us and learn. We have an event coming up in October where we took people, we match people up, people who say, I can't draw a stick figure.
You're right.
There's a lot of very well-known people in Columbia, and we're matching up some of them with some artists, and they're making work,
Really?
and they're getting past that barrier of intimidation or, whatever it is that makes them say, I can't do that. And we're matching them up,
Isn't
and they're
that
making
neat?
art right now.
Isn't
and
that
we're
neat?
gonna have a big event in October where everyone can see it.
Good.
It's gonna be great.
So Patrick, how much time do you have left with your internship or your
I think I
time
maybe
with?
got 10 more months left.
Good for
So
you.
I just
You
moved
just
to
joined us.
Columbia
Good for you. How do you like Columbia?
It's great.
This is a great community. It's a great environment for being creative, I think.
Definitely.
I really do. You guys, you have any new shows coming up or anything? I mean, something where we can come in and see what all the artists are doing?
Yeah, well, this event in October, it's called Celebrity.
What's the date?
It's October 29th.
Okay.
And, you know, we're matching up very well-known people that we're kind of loosely calling celebrities with visual artists, and then the work that they make will be auctioned off. So that's October 29th, and it's going to be over at Dogmaster Distillery and Talking Horse Theater. And you can buy tickets and come and join us. It's going to be a lot of fun.
Oh, that'd be
There's
neat.
some great art being made too.
Yeah,
See,
yeah, we
that's-
have, and each artist celebrity team gets shadowed by a filmmaker who's also local, and they're making short videos about that creative process of how do you go from I can't make a stick figure to this beautiful sculpture.
Wow.
And so yeah, it's gonna be we've got some great stuff already. It's gonna
Shawna,
be
good
awesome.
job.
It's gonna be fun.
That's kind of stuff that directors do, isn't it?
It's the fun stuff.
I know
we do
it.
a lot of other stuff that's not as fun, but that's the fun stuff. Yeah.
Well, listen, what's your website?
It's schoolofservice.org. Yeah.
Outstanding. Patrick, welcome to Columbia.
Thank
You'll
you.
love it. Shawna, best of luck to you.